What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the podcast. Today we will be talking about vision boards. As we leave 2024 and cross over into 2025, I would like all of my peoples to manifest the life that God creates. So I'll be talking about vision boards, y'all. But I'm going to be talking about it from a particular bent slant. I'm going to be talking about vision boards for the anxiety-ridden minds. For people like myself, people who like to overthink some things, and sometimes your mind is not the neurotypical mind that thinks and rationalizes things the way it ought to. And I'm gonna dive into that a little bit more in a moment. But before I jump into this vision board thing, I actually did my vision board. I'm gonna show you guys, and we're gonna go through it and what helps me to manifest, I believe, what God wants for my life. So about 15, 20 years ago, there was a book called The Secret. It dropped. People went crazy. I mean, people was getting houses and cars and falling in love, and they were manifesting everything, only to have it fall apart a couple months later. I remember during this time, my mother and my stepfather made a vision board, and vision boards had been around long before the book, The Secret. But during this time, it freaking blew up. And people are still doing vision board parties. So let's have a vision board party today, y'all. But my mother and my stepfather had these two big vision boards. They had it on the easel in their living room. And they had all these Bentleys and Rolls Royces. And I think on one of them, they even had an airplane where the landing strip was going to land in their backyard. And listen, I'll say this 1,000 times. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But there is a particular mindset, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm the only person in this world. Y'all let me know. When I see stuff like that, it is at times can be more discouraging than it is encouraging, and it demotivates me from pursuing. So I've had to create creative vision boards that encourage me, inspire me, and keep me uplifted. Because I know, I'll be honest with you guys, I can be Debbie Downer at times. I love to be positive. I love to have God use me and to speak life to people. But there are times where I am just human. I'm Debbie Downer. I'm Mr. Grumpfish. And overall, I just got a bad damn attitude at times. My wife would probably say, it ain't at times. It's often. Nevertheless, I want to jump into this vision board thing because I think it's important. I think no matter who we are, whether you want the glamorous life, I don't want a glamorous life the way the world paints a glamorous life. I want something that fits my life, that's very encouraging for me and my lifestyle. And so it's helped me to do my vision board a certain way so that I can stay focused. So let's go ahead and jump into this vision board. I'm going to go through everything on my board. Let me get this popping real quick. Hold on, y'all. I need you up, and I need you to make sure you still recording. I think you are. Here we go. All right, so right here, guys, on my vision board, where do I want to start? Let me start at the top. So let me start here with this beautiful face here. So in my life, the most important person to me is my wife. So I'm gonna get into why I have this the way it is. So I'll go through each thing, and then I'll explain to you why I do what I do and what helps me focus on 2025 and beyond. So I have my wife up here first. Clearly, I want to make sure that I am everything that she needs, and so it helps me to. We had a very interesting conversation this week. My wife said, at times, because of the way I am, I can make her feel lonely. Without, not intentional, just I am always, again, this is why I make the vision board for the anxiety-ridden mind. A lot of times I create these rules and regulations and habits in my mind. I'm very regimented. I believe it's the autism. I believe it's I'm not gonna say Asperger, but the nonverbal part of me. where I can be very regimented and I don't break that stride. I just keep going and going and going, and I can kind of I'm not always aware of social cues or picking up on things when people are not feeling comfortable or they're going through things around me. I can kind of be a bulldozer emotionally. I'm wrong with that. So that's something that I definitely have to be mindful of and work on. It's not her fault. It's my fault because it's something that it's how I've always been, you know. But when you're married, you can't be selfish. No matter what your shortcomings are, you have to be inclusive and know that everyone in your life plays a part. And as a man, as a husband, that's my responsibility. Number 2 here. Listen, health is wealth. That should be self-explanatory. Health is wealth. My wife and I have always been very good at eating right. Over the last, I'm going to say 6-7 years, we've kind of just buckled down. We're like salad junkies. We have our times where we kind of fall off. But this eating right, so this is not just about eating right to me. This speaks to me about watching what I'm putting into my body, because I am of a certain age where I need to start consuming things. And I like chocolate, y'all. I like chocolate. My mother was a chocolate fiend. My mother used to have M&Ms when my brother and I were growing up in her room, like the big bag of M&Ms. So I picked up some of that, but I have to be very mindful of that. Next, let me come to. So next here is a music studio. My wife is a musician. She is working on her album. She has a song that she's been working on. Some music she's been working on. She has a couple of jingles out already. She sings on the praise team at World Changers in Atlanta. But my desire is that she has her own recording studio to record when she wants to and how she wants to in our own home. In our home. Self-explanatory, right? All right, let's keep going. I'm going to come back here. Real estate and investing. So, again, wealth in America is real estate. My wife and I bought our first property that I'm sitting in now. 2023. Yeah, 2023 we bought it. We've been here almost a little over a year. So this is very important to us that we continue to grow our financial portfolio. I love investing. Y'all. But if you have debt, investing in stocks and some other things doesn't really benefit, because even though you think you're growing, unless you get lucky and you hit a Bitcoin, you get Bitcoin at like 15, and like for $15, and it grows over like 2 million. Then there have been stock market phenoms, but for the most part, investing, you invest money over a long period of time, and the thing that grows your money the most is the drips. What you put into it over a 10, 15, 20, 30-year period, not just the rise and fall. Unless you're a trader, it's something different. But so real estate investing is really important for us as a couple and in our household. Every person, married or not, needs some sort of property in their life at some point. I'm going to do another video on that, because having a property is a lot of freaking work. And you need to have capital. You need to have money put aside for it. That's self-explanatory. All right, next up is podcast studio. So I am a content creator, clearly. This speaks to me about my long-term vision and goal. The creativity, the creative side of me. I love to create. I love this podcast. I love the podcast that my wife and I have. But even more so than that, when I see this picture, this is speaking to me about media in general. So I my soul is to build a media empire. Not too much in. I love to tell people stories. Let me stop. I'm going to tell people stories. I've been sharing my wife and I's story, and I believe I want to start with my inner circle. I want to start with my inner circle and then build it out from there. So when I see this, Robert Ballard TV, the Father Mucking Battles podcast, this speaks to me about where I am able to go in terms of my creativity. I'm going to come back to that in a second also. I'm going to come back to all the stuff in a second. I'm trying to give you a run through. And then right here you have my wife and I. This particular picture for me speaks to me about our family, that we now have stepped into this a position of matriarch and patriarch. And so we have 8 kids in total. I didn't put all the kids up there because it would have filled up the whole thing. So once again, this is a vision board for a certain mindset. I don't need to put a bunch of stuff on there. I need to put select things that will keep my mind sharp and drive my mind. So, okay, are you taking care of that? Okay, are you doing that? And so when I see this picture of my wife and I right here, y'all, it is speaking to us as the matriarch and the patriarch of this family. The wisdom that we have to share, the life we have to share, and what we have to give to them. And because at the end of the day, I don't want any of my sons I want all of them to surpass me. And so I want to make sure they have the tools needed to surpass me. And my wife feels the same way about all of our daughters. It doesn't, but also when I look at this picture too, all of our kids. Let me say me. A lot of my kids are not in a position to receive from us because there's a schism in the family right now. And so a part of this picture speaks to me about healing also. So I don't need to put healing and all this other stuff in. No. I look at that picture and I know what it represents to me. Because at the end of the day, your vision board shouldn't speak to the world. It should only speak to you. In the middle, the cross is about my faith in Christ. Whatever religion you are, God bless you. Whatever you believe in, God bless you. I am telling you that my foundation is me. I don't think that I can achieve anything without God's grace, without God's help. Neither will I put him aside in pursuit of any of these things. And I need him. I need him to help me change me to be a better husband. I need him to help me to focus on my diet. I need him to tell me how to teach me how to this whole music aspect works. I need him to give us. I thank him for giving us a solid blueprint about property. I thank him for giving me the wisdom about creating a podcast and documentaries and so forth and so on. And I thank God for that we are now the matriarch and the patriarch, and we will be healthy in our roles and give from our souls so that our kids can be better. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what all this represents to me. And lastly, the lion. The lion is sheerly about me. Me just as a man. Who do I have to become to make sure as a man, God is working through me and I'm learning all these different facets in my life? So when we start talking about vision board, right? I can't ignore the law of attraction. I can't ignore manifestation. What I will say to you, the thing I've learned over time, and the reason why I construct my vision boards like this, because it speaks to my mind. It's not all gaudy, and I don't need all the Bentleys. And if we ever have a Bentley, great. If I don't, great. I don't really care. What I care about is being healthy. I care about being a wonderful husband, a phenomenal father, and I care about my wife and I both fulfilling our passions that God put inside of us. That's my foundation. And that our kids live out their best life, right? So when I look at the lion, that's me looking at myself in the mirror. I say to myself, you gotta be a beast. Because we will always attract to us who we are, not what we want. And so I have to continually be evolving. I have to continually be growing. I have to keep myself sharp in all. I'm not gonna say in all these areas, because I believe this. When a person desires change in their life, they begin to do it. I don't need to go to a motivational conference. I don't need to pick up a book. Now, I do read books. I don't need to do all of them things to create change. No. I have God. I see what God has set before me. I feel all these things in my soul, and I say to myself, okay, today, what do I have to do? For example, I was sitting here Sunday. I was just chilling because we've been doing some construction on the house, trying to get ready for Christmas, and I'm exhausted. My wife ran out. She went to go take care of some business. I was playing my PlayStation, Call of Duty, Black Ops. And so when she said she was going to run out, I've been having this vision board idea, content for the last, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And so it didn't let go. And I'm sitting there relaxing, chilling, and I could feel God tapping me on my shoulder like, okay, let's go do it. I'm like, I don't want to do it today. But this is the perfect time. I don't want to do it today. This is the perfect time. But because, so that's what I'm saying about the lion. Who am I? Am I going to be the guy that when God taps me on the shoulder, I'm going to make an excuse and I'm going to bail out? Or am I going to get my ass up and I'm going to do it and do my best at it and get this content out because that's what my soul wants. That's what my desire is. So in all of these areas, when I look at this vision board, and so I don't print the vision boards out. I just leave it as a screensaver on my computer or on my phone. So when I open my phone, it's there. When I go to log into my computer, my vision board is there. It's just something that when I go to, it reminds me of the things that I want to do in my life and the things I want in my life. I think it's a beautiful thing. Again, I do it this way because I don't need to see all of the money and the dollars and all of the freaking red bottoms. And no, to me, that's kind of discouraging. But what I like to do is, who am I? God, what do I need to change to manifest all of these things in my life? And when I focus on that, it gives me a much better playing field. There's not as much doubt. Not a lot of hesitation, because I'm not trying to manifest a dollar. I'm manifesting what's inside of me. We will always attract to us who we are. People talk about relationships and it's like, oh, well, this man was bad. This man, I heard somebody say this, so I'm not going to take credit for this, but it was a really, really important thing. It says, the reason why you can date different people but have the same result is hold on. You can date. I'm a paraphrase before I jack it up. So in life, we can date different people, and then we can have this experience. Why? Well, how can I attract a woman like this and like that, or a man like this and like that? Why do I keep attracting these things? You can date different people with the same spirit. With the same spirit. The thing that changes is that when you begin to change inside, when your heart and your soul begin to change, you begin to attract certain things that just are drawn to you. If you having a weak moment and you go out to the bar and you meet someone who think is great, you got to be mindful that in that moment, you already know you're weak. If you want a new job, but then you got to get your butt up and get on camera or change your resume or do what you need to do to manifest it. That's the person that you have to become to do it. I don't need to see Bentleys and Rolls Royces to say, okay, I'm going to get it. No. God, teach me how to change these things inside me, and they will always manifest on the outside of me. Vision boards for the anxiety-ridden mind. This will help me, y'all. Helps me to accomplish some amazing things in my life. It's helping my wife and I accomplish some amazing things in our lives. Y'all wait till you hear my wife's album. Y'all wait till y'all see her new book. Y'all wait till y'all see her on stage. Y'all wait till the documentary comes out. Wait till our next property comes in. We're going to keep you posted on everything. Why? Because that's what God desires for us. It's not about being better than nobody. I'm saying create the life you want. Manifest what you want. But let's get very particular about the things we want and not have all these materialistic things. I always say this, that money will follow vision. So focus on the vision and everything else will follow. Thank y'all for checking out this podcast. Let me know what you think about this podcast. And let's make 2025 a freaking remarkable year. All right? Peace.